start part 3 of my journey so far through everything that I went through as a child, as a teenager, as a young adult, and now going forward from the age of 25 until 29. I have some notes which I will put in front of me so that I can actually read them and not go off on a tangent, which is something that I tend to do a lot. So if I look down for a second, it's my notes, okay? So first thing we're going to address in this entire video is the elephant in the room, which is my hair. As you can see, I've dyed it black. The main reason for that is bleaching it all the time is so annoying, and it also damages your hair. And plus, when in the UK, we're now back in another lockdown. Well, Wales is in a lockdown, so is England. I don't know about Scotland, haven't paid attention to their news. Sorry. Right. So, I couldn't keep ordering bleach online, like every 6 weeks to get it done. That's just too much of an annoyance. So I went to stuff it, I dyed a dark colour. So I dyed it black, which is my all-time favourite shade. I prefer black to white, and the darker it is, the better I feel. It's the opposite of my soul. I mean, if you probably say what colour my soul is, it's probably a happy colour. Despite all the dark stuff that's happened to me, my soul is definitely happy colour. But to contrast that, I need something dark. So here. Also, I don't know if it's noticeable, but I am coming up to 1 month on tea, so my voice might have changed. I can't tell. I mean, I don't think it has. My hearing is like, change, and I'm like, I don't think it has, mate, nah. So, tangent over. Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Lane. It's so nice of you to be here. It's so nice to get to talk to you. I hope everyone is having a good day, because to be honest, the way things are going right now, we need good days to balance out our bad, which are unfortunately getting more and more, which sucks. So, as mentioned, this will be 25 years to 29, so it's only going to be a short 4 years, but whoo boy, those 4 years, a lot happened. First things first is I met Jane and Gemma when I was about 25, I'd say, and I very quickly became good friends with Gemma. We liked a lot of the same thing. We have so much in common, so much hobbies and stuff. So Lex would go over to Jane's place to craft with Jane, and Lex didn't like Jane. She didn't like Jane's house, she didn't like Jane's personality. She didn't like the fact that Jane was so calm and down to earth and so collected and so happy and willing to literally look at someone in the best light. See, with Lex, if she meets someone, she has to be better than them. She acts really kind of snobbish around them. She's always looking down on her nose at them, going, oh, well, they have this and I have this. It's like, she's very much one of those type of people, which I really don't like. I really hate people like that. So, for me, Gemma was an escape out of the place with Lex, because Gemma would say to me, oh, I'm not working on such and such a day, I can book the day off, do you want to go somewhere? And I'm like, yeah, we'll go to Cardiff or wherever we'd go together and we'd have a good day for us with each other. And Alison at first liked me going there, because it meant I was getting out of the house, I was having a friend, I was going places. But then she started to realise that I'd be spending money and I'd be buying what she considered crap, rubbish, waste of money and waste of time. So things that I liked and Alison didn't see the point in, or didn't see its value, she would lay into me. She would verbally tell me that it's a waste of time. Why did you buy this? It's so stupid. Oh, you act like such a child. And I quickly learnt to hide things that I had bought, because if I didn't and Lex saw them, she would go for me. And at one point, I actually bought a couple of pop figures. Now, if you know what pop figures are, they're Pop Funko figures. There is some over there, but I'm not going to go move it to get it. But they're literally just like boxes about this big and got a little character in them. And I bought 2 that I've been really looking forward to, because when I found out they were going to be released, I was like, yes, I need to get them. So I got them. And Lex literally hit the roof so bad that she twisted my arm verbally so much that I eventually agreed to take them back. But then the next day, Herb wanted to go out places, so Lex took the 2 figures with me to get with her to get my money back, and then she told me that I can't be trusted with my money. So from then on, anything I bought had to go through her. I'm not even joking. She hated me spending money, because in her eyes, if she hasn't got the money, why should I have the money to have? She can't buy nice things for herself. I can't buy nice things for myself. So it literally got to the point that I would quite a few times buy things online and get them sent to Gemma's place, because I knew that if they turned up in my place, Lex would hit the roof and I would literally get so depressed. Like, I was already severely depressed by that point, but I was, from the age of 25 until 29, I was contemplating suicide, and it's not a fun subject to talk about, but I was doing this on the daily. It was at least once or twice every other day. At one point, I got so depressed on my 27th, the night of my 27th birthday, that I actually did commit suicide. That's how bad it got. Because I did something that Lex didn't like. Lex told me I'm not allowed to do it, and if I went behind her back and I did it, I would get it in the neck, and I literally did get it in the neck. So she soon realised that I would be spending money that she can't have me spend. So she would start telling me that I can't go places, or I can't do this, or I can't go there. And there's one particular instance I can remember. I think it was last year. I was meant to go meet up with a group of people in a cosplay group in Cardiff with Gemma, and Lex found out the night before, the day before, that I was going to meet up with the group, and it wasn't going to be just me and Gemma. It was going to be me, Gemma, and a load of group of people. And she didn't like the fact that because it was a cosplay group, that meant I'll be spending money going to like cinema or something, and Lex would not have that. Oh, no. I'm not allowed anything fun in life. So she literally told me the day before, you're not going, and if you do go, you're not coming home. So she literally told me that I had to choose between having a bit of freedom or having a roof over my head. And unfortunately, I was so under her thumb that I agreed not to go, and I was crushed that I couldn't go. I was absolutely shattered about that, because I'd been looking forward to it for at least 3 to 4 months. I'd saved up for this, and I was told the night before, no, because I said so. And I will never forget that. I will never forget the fact that she had the power to take away my freedom because she didn't want me to have it. On my 27th birthday, the day before, I saved up money to get a tattoo. It was a tattoo that I'd wanted for quite a while, and I have it on me, and I've had to change what it means because it's a reminder of the hell that I went through as with Lex, and I'll try and take a photo and show you a photo of it, but it's literally, I don't know if you can see it. Hold on. Can you see it? Hold on, get that out of the way. It's literally, that's a different tattoo. It's literally an anchor with a rose and a daffodil on it. And 1 second, I don't think I'm set to it yet. There we go, I'm back in. And I borrowed £10 from Lex so that I could get it. But it turned out I didn't need that £10, so I could give that £10 back to her. But when Lex saw it the next day, she got so angry at me that she threw a mug, and it was a yellow kitten mug with a white flowers in it. I remember that. She threw it. She threw a mug because I dared disobey her. I dared to get something that I wanted for so long. I dared. She didn't like it. And that night, the night before my 27th, I actually wanted to die. I didn't want to live. I couldn't live not with her. And I knew then that I had to either get out somehow or I would not be living for long, because I could not cope. I would not be able to. And if she ever sees any of these videos and she dares come after me and points out that I was a troublemaker, that I did this and I did that, how dare I do this to her? Lex, you know who you are. I've changed your name because I don't want to name and shame you. I should really name and shame you. I should speak up and say who you when I was about 26, I'd say, I went to a convention. And actually, no, it wasn't 26, but 28. Yeah, 28. I went to a convention and she said to me, after I begged her to go, she goes, "You can go, but on one condition. You're not to buy anything." Now, I have mentioned this in a previous video. I think it was my last video that I made, my last update. Which I did break. I did buy something, but it was my money. I saved up and I really, really wanted to get this, so I did. And I honestly believed in my heart of my hearts that she would just be a little annoyed, but then that'd be it. But no. She told me then that I was never going to go to another convention as long as I lived with her. And that I had to get a job. Which, yes, I agree, getting a job is something that people need to do, but my mental health and everything was so shot that getting that job, I really looked forward to that job, like going to that job, because it meant that I'd be out of her hair, I'd be out of her way, I couldn't do anything wrong, and that I could be free and have something to do that meant that I was not with her. So it was freedom from her. I didn't see it as a cage. I saw it as freedom, but because at that point I was starting to earn money, she was getting what's known as an endowment policy. She's getting paid back from that, and so she wanted to get a new car. I had passed my driving test by this point, so she was like, "We're going to buy a car together, you and me. We're going to buy the car together." So I said to her that I didn't mind what car it was, but I just wanted to make sure I had a Bluetooth connector so I could listen to music. And she goes, "Yeah, it's fine, it's fine." So both of us were looking for cars. And then one day she goes out with her and she comes back with a folder of a car. And I'm like, "Why has she got car magazine?" And she goes, "I found the car we're going to get. It's this one. I've already put down the deposit. We'll work out how much you need to pay." See, I know I said that I didn't mind, but if I'm going half on something that's expensive with someone else, you need to let me in on the deal and you need to let me know what's going on before you make it. Because that's not fair with me. Because then you force me into doing something that I'm not comfortable with doing. I didn't want to get the car that soon. But she didn't care, because as far as she was concerned, she had me when she wanted me. locked in what I considered a problem, and it was a problem. And then she speaks to my nan about it, and my nan agrees to loan me the money so I can pay for the car. Except I didn't know the loan was going to happen until it was too late, because at that point the deal had been made. I was getting that loan. Number 2, I did not agree to it in any way, shape or form. And that is financial abuse, that's economical abuse, and I was not happy. And then fast forward to almost a year. I've been paying this loan off, giving 90% or giving about 70% of my earnings for this loan and car. I bought a new phone because my old phone broke and I had to send it away to get it repaired, and I needed a phone for work because for me to sign in on work you have to use an app, and my phone was broken, so I needed a way to sign in on work, otherwise I wouldn't get paid. So I buy a second-hand iPhone 6S so that I can actually log into work and go to work. I sent it to Gemma's place because if I sent it to my place, Lex would have hit the roof. So when I picked it up from Gemma's place and Lex found out that I had a new phone, oh boy. Whew. That was not fun. So she then grabs me and she sits me down in front of the contract that the contract that I signed under duress. I had to sign it because I couldn't get out. Then she tells me that she's going to change it. So she tightens the contract even more. So instead of giving 70% of my earnings, I was giving 90% of everything I made for that month into either the contract or rent for her. That left me with less than £100 for myself a month. She expected me to be able to do that. Out of that £100, I had to pay for a phone bill, which left me with £70 a month to live on. She didn't seem to care, because as far as she was concerned, she won. I'm here to tell you one thing, Lex. You haven't won. You think you have, but you've lost. Big time. Because if you do go anywhere near me for that contract, for that loan, I will bring up everything that you've done to me. And I will make sure that the courts hear about the economical abuse, the emotional abuse, the mental abuse, and the physical abuse that you dealt to me when I was with you. I will make sure that my side of the story gets told. And I will make sure that you are not as pretty as you look like. Because you may look nice on the outside, but your soul is ugly. They say karma comes back. I just hope I'm around when it happens. Because you tried to break me, and I'm still standing. So, yeah. So we have the car. And I have to ask if I can use the car. And sometimes she'll say yes. Other times she'll say no, because what happens if Nan falls ill and she needs the car, or something happens and Lex needs the car for something. You know what? I've been calling her Lex, and I told her she was going to hide behind anonymity. So if I slip up and I say her actual name, it's over in my previous videos where I've been cutting her name out. I'm going to leave it in. So, of course, when I'm going to town with my friend Amy, or I'm meeting up with Gemma, Alison has to know everything that I bought. As soon as I walk through the door, do you have a good time? What did you buy? Did you buy anything? And at one point I bought like 3 DVDs for 50 pence. And I showed her the 3 DVDs for 50 pence and she looks at me like, haven't you got enough? What did you buy them for? You could have saved that £1.50. I ordered something online, a cosplay that I had saved up and bought in instalments, so it wasn't like one full-on purchase, it was little by little. She followed me up the stairs to my room to see what I'd ordered, to see what I had, and she wouldn't leave the room until I opened it. She was controlling, so controlling. She had to know what was in my mail, like if I had a letter from something. She wouldn't say anything, but she'd just give me the look as if to say, either you tell me now, or I'll find out later. She might as well tell me now. She would say that up to me, she goes, either you tell me now, or I'll find out later. You better tell me now, because if I find out what it is later on, you'll be in for it. There'd be days when she would go over my nan's and I had to go with her. I was not allowed to stay in the house with Clive. She wouldn't let me. She would rather punish me by making me go see my nan. And she knows that me and my nan do not get on well. We haven't gotten well for decades. There'd be house chores. I'd do all the housework, and if I sat down for a couple of minutes to have a cup of tea, she'd walk in the room and go, ahem, or she'd just look at me, or she'd say, and what do you think you're doing? Get off that chair, do something, there's other things to do around the house. I can think of other things for you to do. She would verbally strip me down to my bare bones and make me feel insignificant, inconsequential, and a burden to her. I literally felt like her adopting me was a burden that she would rather have not had. I bet you if someone asked her if she can go back in time and undo one thing, you know what she'd say? She'd probably undo adopting me. Because she made me feel like I was worthless to her. I was nothing more than a little stamp of, oh, look at me, aren't I a nice person? I took in this poor broken child and I made sure that he was loved and that he was cared for. No. You may have loved me, but it's a sick and a twisted love. And as for caring for me, you cared more about your life than you did about anyone else. You wanted everyone to see her as a pariah, as someone to be looked at and go, oh wow, well done, well done. Oh, let's give her something to say well done. She wanted adulation, she wanted admiration, she wanted people to look at her and be in awe of her. But while she had this pretty picture of her life, if someone took a look a little harder into her life, they would have seen that she left nothing but destruction in her wake. She destroyed everything that she touched. It got to the point that eventually she and I would play cards at night and we'd be in the middle of a game and then she'd get a phone call from her best friend and she'd instantly drop spending time with me to spend time with her friend. And at one point we were like in the middle of a game and she literally just went, 1 second, I'm not playing anymore. Put the cards down and walked away. And I'm like, thanks, you know? Thanks for letting me know that I mattered. Thanks for letting me know that you can say to your friend, if you give me 10 minutes, I'll phone you back. I'm just in the middle of the game with someone. No. I was inconsequential. She drinks a bottle of wine a night, and I don't know how long this has been going on for. It's been going on for years. And I've been in quite a few times. She's made me go down the shop to get her wine because she hadn't had any. Because she wouldn't go down herself. Oh no, because people would look at me like, oh, she's drinking that wine, isn't she? I wonder if she's okay. Oh no, keeping up appearances, you know. So I'd go and get it for her. If it wasn't wine, it was gin, it was vodka, it was white rum, anything alcoholic, she'd drink it. And I lived with this until I was nearly 30. And at that point, I had already tried to transition from female to male twice by now. Once when I was 17, and once again when I was like 24, 25. And I had an email first week of lockdown 2020 from Jane, and Jane said to me that I had to get out of that place because it was damaging me. It was emotional, it was abuse, and if I wanted to, I could stay with her until I find a place of my own. That email saved my life, and I don't think Jane knows that it saved my life. Before Jane emailed me, I was trying to talk on the phone with victim support because it got to the point that I went, nah, I need out, I gotta get some help. So I was speaking to victim support, but I couldn't speak on the phone for long because Lex would hover if I was on the phone, and she would have to know what I was doing. She had to. So I had to be secretive. So the day before I left that house. This is a different clip, clearly, because hi. My camera that I was recording part 3 on actually died before the end, so I'm like, and I just can't be bothered to go and put on the clothes that I was wearing in that video to make it look like it's the same video, but nah, it's not. This is an add-on. I will probably be adding this on to the end of part 3, because I don't feel like making part 3, part 2 and all that crap like I did with part 2. Yeah. Anyway, as I was saying before I got cut off, before I got out of that place, I didn't see a future that I had, that I was living in it. I didn't see a point in living, basically. I just got so downtrodden, so picked on, so ripped apart literally all the time that I gave up trying to stitch myself together. I gave up trying to be alive, basically. I just didn't want to live any longer, and that really hurt me, knowing that I reached that point in my life where I was like, nah, I gotta get out of this place, because I'm either out or I'm 6 feet under, which is not really that fun. And I am looking at the camera, I'm looking at you, I'm looking at the camera, and this is so annoying. So if I look like that, just look at the camera. But yeah, that email that I got from Jane telling me that I needed to get out and that I needed to be free and I had a place if I needed it, she literally saved my life that day, because I was so deep in the despair and the depression and the total just void of emotion that my head was spinning all the time. And I would go to bed and I would be terrified when I go to bed that there's going to be an argument, that Herb is going to kick off or Alison's going to kick off, and I'm going to have to phone the police on them, which I've had to do quite a few times, because when Herb used to get drunk, he would get quite physically violent and everything, and he would scream and he would yell and he would shout and he would kick off, and It was not a good place to be. It was so toxic that I'm surprised I haven't picked up any of that toxicity basically. So yeah, I got out. I literally had the email from Jane, and like the next day, after I was talking to Jane saying I need to get out, I'm going to plan a day that we can get out. Alison actually said to me that she's going to her her mother, on the Wednesday, and I'm like, I kid you not, as soon as I heard that, I got on my phone and I emailed Jane and I went, Alison's going to my nan's on Wednesday, and Clive takes the dog out around about 10:30 every single morning. That would be the best time for you to come get me, for me to get my shit and get the fuck out. And I'm swearing, and I'm not going to bleep it. And I don't care if this gets some. I'm not even caring about monetization because I'm just too small of a channel to even bother. So I was like, this is the best time to come get me. And she was literally like, done deal. Just, if you need to get out sooner, give me a ring and I'll come get you up. And I was like, thank you for that. But I said to myself, I am going to stick it out just one more week. One more week to stick it out before I get out. And that week, I was so on edge. I'm surprised Alison didn't pick up on the vibes I was giving off, because I was giving off major vibes, like, but no, she didn't notice anything. And the night before I left, we had a power cut. And Alison was watching something on not catch up, she had paused it so that she could like watch it when she was able to sit down and watch it, because she was drinking wine and all that lot, and she just didn't have it's not that she didn't have the time, it's that she deliberately made sure she didn't have anything. And I have hat hair. Let's not show my hat hair. And she had to, so of course it was on pause, and she was like 10-20 minutes behind, I believe. And then the power went out, and she went. And Herb went, he put the power back on, but the internet didn't kick in straight away, because internet takes a few moments to sort itself out, reset itself once it's been turned off. Unexpectedly, it's got to take a while to like go through the program and make sure everything's still working fine, and then it will come back on. So Alison turned to me, and I was sitting on my chair watching a video, not on the internet. I was watching a DVD. I can't remember which DVD. Completely can't remember which one. And she literally looked at me and she goes, "Are you going to turn the internet on?" And I looked at her and I went, "No need, it's going to sort itself out. It has to do this when you turn it on unexpectedly. It does it when you turn it off, or you reset it, it has to go through the program." And she's like, it's silent. And like literally like 30 seconds later, "You're going to go turn the internet on?" And I looked at her and I was like, "Did you just not hear what I said?" And so I just looked at her and I said, "No need, it's going to turn itself on." And then she got pretty angry at me and she went, "Oh, you just sit there and do nothing then, huh? I'll sort it out, like I always have to sort things out." And I just literally just went, I was like, are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? I know more about the internet and the technology and how things work than you do, and you think you have the right to talk down to me. So I just sat there in complete silence, just went, like, my head was going, what the heck? What the actual heck just happened? Did she actually just lose her temper at me because she's missing a TV program? What person does that? And literally, it was like 10 seconds after that outburst from her, the internet came back on. And I looked at her and I actually said to her, I was like, "It's back on. Are you going to apologise?" And she looked at me and do you know what she said? The tone of voice. "Sorry." In the most unapologetic, I can't be bothered, shut the hell up, who do you think you are, tone of voice. And that night, that was the moment that I went, I'm getting out tomorrow. Hallelujah, thank everything. I'm getting the heck out of this hellhole. And Jane actually messaged me and she said, oh no, it was Jan who did it. She said, write a letter explaining to Alison why you've done what you've done and why you've left. So I did. I wrote that letter. I actually have a photo of it somewhere that I wrote the letter, left it there, left the car key that I had, grabbed my stuff, and I left. And I did not look back. And to be honest, I don't know if you can tell, I will be doing part 4 later on today, because part 4 is the future for me. My mental state is literally like the best it's ever been. I've never been this happy, this full of life, this energized, this vitality in me. It's like, yes, I can do anything, because I am going to be anything. So this is the end of part 3. I will be adding this on to the later parts. So see ya.